Hi, I'm Max Planer, and today I'm explaining worst decisions in history were not made by ignorant people. They were made by generals, by scientists, by CEOs, by leaders who were, by every measurable standard, extremely intelligent. And that raises an uncomfortable question. If these people were so smart, why did they get it so wrong? Before we get started, a quick note. If you enjoy clear explanation videos like this, your support genuinely helps to keep this channel going. A like, a comment, or a subscription makes a real difference. Now, let me explain. We grow up believing something very simple. Smart people make better decisions. It feels logical. More intelligence should mean better judgment, better analysis, better outcomes. But psychology, history, and real-world data consistently show something very different. Intelligence helps you solve problems. Decision-making is about choosing under uncertainty, pressure, and incomplete information. Those are not the same skills. In many cases, high intelligence can actually make bad decisions worse. Let's clarify an important distinction. Intelligence is the ability to process information, recognize patterns, learn quickly, and understand complex systems. Judgment is the ability to weigh trade-offs, accept uncertainty, recognize limits, and know when you might be wrong. You can have a lot of one and very little of other. History is full of brilliant minds who made extremely poor decisions, not because they lacked intelligence, but intelligence gave them false confidence. So we're coming to the first major trap. Overconfidence bias. Overconfidence bias is one of the most studied cognitive biases in psychology. In simple terms, the more competent people are, the more likely they are going to overestimate their own understanding. This doesn't mean smart people are arrogant by nature. It means their past success trains them to trust their own judgment even when conditions change. They've been right before, so they assume they'll be right again. This is especially dangerous in military strategy, politics, business, and technologies, because these environments change faster than experience can keep up with. Historical patterns shows the reality of that. When researchers study major historical failures, they often find the same structure: highly intelligent decision makers, strong past success, increasing certainty, dismissal of dissenting views, a final, irreversible mistake. The intelligence didn't disappear, the humility did. You can find a lot of examples for that when you check Rome or any other empire. Or you don't have to check empires or anything like that. You can check anything you want from history and find big mistakes made by intelligent people. This brings us to the second major problem. Smart people are extremely good at rationalizing bad decisions. This is where confirmation bias enters the picture. Confirmation bias is the tendency to seek information that supports your belief, ignore information that challenges it, interpret ambiguous data in your favor. Here's the key insight. Intelligence doesn't protect you from confirmation bias. It gives you better tools to justify it. A less intelligent person may simply believe something. A highly intelligent person can build an entire logical framework around a bad assumption. The decision feels airtight, even when it's fundamentally flawed. There's another uncomfortable truth. Smart people often dismiss warnings because they come from people they perceive as less informed. In hierarchical systems, armies, corporations, governments, warnings usually come from junior officers, lower-level analysts, engineers, advisors without authority. When a leader strongly believes they understand the situation, contradictory information feels like noise, not signal. And the more complex the system, the easier it is to believe they just don't see the full picture like I do. That belief has ended careers, companies, and entire empires. And in some cases, it cost millions of people's lives. Chernobyl disaster would be a great example for that, because the head engineer did not listen to the junior engineers who warned him before the disaster happened. It's a long story, but if you want me to talk about that story, I can make another video for you. Let me know in the comments. Alright, now let's zoom out. Bad decisions are rarely made in isolation. They're made in rooms filled with intelligent people who all think they are being rational. This is called groupthink. Groupthink happens when disagreement feels socially risky, consensus is valued over accuracy, silence is mistaken for agreement. In these environments, intelligence becomes synchronized, but not necessarily correct. People stop asking, "Is this wrong?" and they start asking, "Does anyone else seem uncomfortable with this?" If the answer is no, the decision moves forward, even if it's not right to do. And authority makes it worse. Add authority to the mix and the problem intensifies. Studies in psychology constantly shows that people defer authority figures. Even highly intelligent individuals comply, especially under pressure, time constraints. When a leader signals confidence, uncertainty disappears from the room, not because it was resolved, but because it was suppressed. And this is how very smart people end up participating in decisions they privately doubt. Here's another reason these failures keep repeating. Bad decisions rarely look bad while they're happening. They look reasonable, defensible, based on available data. The problem is that outcomes are delayed. When things go wrong, we analyze them and say, it was obvious, but it wasn't obvious at the time. Smart people are particularly vulnerable to this because they trust their internal reasoning more than external uncertainty. Ironically, success often makes future failure more likely. Why? Because success teaches the wrong lesson of my judgment works, instead of this worked under specific conditions. The more successful someone becomes, the more their identity gets tied to being right. Admitting uncertainty begins to feel like weakness, and that's when decision-making becomes rigid. But as humans, we're getting better, right? We're becoming more modern, more intelligent, more precise decision-makers. Modern world makes this worse. Because today's world amplifies all of these problems. Decisions are faster and more complex, more interconnected, and more impactful. A single decision by a small group of intelligent people can affect millions of users, entire economies, global stability. And increasingly, these decisions are made with assistance of algorithms and AI systems, which introduces new risks instead of removing old ones. Technology does not eliminate human bias, it scales it. When intelligent people use powerful tools without questioning their assumptions, mistakes grow larger, faster, and harder to reverse. The danger isn't stupidity. The danger is unquestioned confidence combined with power. So what actually leads to better decisions? Research constantly points to the same traits: intellectual humility, willingness to be challenged, slower decisions in high-stakes situations, separating identity from being right. Ironically, these traits often appear less impressive than raw intelligence, but they are far more reliable. Because the biggest mistakes in history were not caused by ignorance, were caused by certainty. By people who were sure they understood the situation, sure they had considered all variables, sure they were smarter than the risks. That's why intelligence alone is not enough, and why the most dangerous phrase in decision-making is often being too sure about your own ideas. So, here's a real question. Is it right that the worst decisions come from lack of intelligence or from too much confidence in our own intelligence? Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like it. It really helps the channel. And if you want more videos like this, please make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.